So spawn up in the top right hand corner, we do have playing as the red Protoss. Playing for Team Vega, it is PrimeLoT. And down in the bottom left hand corner, as the purple Zerg, playing for Team MiA, it is Starbuck. So what do you think's going to happen this game, man?
Let's see, PrimeLoT is actually go for the gateway expansion. Maybe gateway expansion, while okay, sorry, never mind. He opens up for the PrimeLoT on the high ground, not on the low ground, not trying to take a second base quite early. The regular style would go for a gateway, one gas, making a zealot, maybe canceling a zealot depending on his style, and then open up with maybe some Starlight play depending on this play. I've actually never seen him play, so I can't actually tell. There's no Forge, no Probe Sense, so this won't be a cannon rush for a Paras player. And what do you think Starbuck will do?
Got a feeling he's going to go for some aggression here. Maybe go down to a Stargate sort of play. This map is quite good for Stargate, as there's many entrances to the main base. You've got the left hand side, actually through the middle ramp, as we're looking at here, and down in the bottom right. Very, very easy ways, especially to harass this middle lane. So I would say Stargate, my bet's on Stargate. But it looks like we're going to be seeing a one gate mothership core expand, popularized by Naniwa himself. Usually with that zealot, if they do see any, they will queue up a zealot, but if they see any launch coming, they will definitely keep that building. But if not, they will cancel that and get an earlier, greedier expansion.
Yeah, as you can see, no cannon rush. And corner boosting up probes, constant probes, one gas. We'll get the mothership as soon as the cybernetic scope will finish, which is now just being built. So he has quite a lot of time to do some scouting. And yeah, he sends his probe to scout to see what his opponent does.
Yeah, this is actually quite an interesting payload placement from PrimeLoT. It looks like he's going to be trying to proxy something here. It's quite interesting. Or torpedo. I couldn't possibly think of what that else is to be, except the heads and tech structures. But on the other hand, we do have Starbuck going for hatchery first, so he's been a little bit more greedy around understanding the more or less Protoss nowadays are going for that hatch first, or for that gateway expand sort of play. So he wants to try and get it one over on his opponent as early as possibly can. As early as possibly he can. Oh, that's a tongue twister, that is.
Yeah.
So everything's just playing out pretty standard. Nobody's going to be too aggressive earlier on. We're not going to be seeing any early pools or any proxy 2 is happening in this game. So he is actually going to keep this out, which is pretty interesting. Just usually they only queue up the mothership core, get that out faster than they possibly could with a nice chrono boost, and they're pretty safe enough. But it looks like PrimeLoT just wants to be a little bit safer with that zealot.
Yeah, and the side of the Zerg player, Starbuck is going for the gasless full queen build. Very, very common in ZVP, especially on this map where the third base is quite hard to get, especially on the Zerg side of the game early. So he's going to get a few queens on the map, maybe start some creep. Definitely get injects on the hatchery, get a few drones early up, maybe get some broker lead, and yeah, no gathers actually. Maybe on the 6 minute mark or 5:30 minute mark at the earliest, Starbuck will put some gas, but I'm pretty sure that he's got. Okay, so I was wrong.
Okay, so this is actually going to be a 4-blade aggression. We see this an awful lot, and this only has one aim. This is not to kill his opponent. He does have his natural base, so he can fall back on that. What this is mainly to do is just to put a little bit of aggression on, do as much damage as he possibly can, but most importantly, kill that Zerg for a base, and then not let the Zerg economy get out of hand.
Yeah, so as we said, 4-gate 91 type of build. His wall-off actually is good, but those 2 panels are exposed, quite risky. But he did risk out a sentry while he was corner boosting out his warp gate. So if any counter attacks will come, he will just save it to force field and maybe defend. But yeah, now warping out 3 zealots.
He looks like he's pretty scared actually right now at this point in time. He is throwing for his gas and his road sworn. He's also throwing down 3 spine crawlers. 2 spine crawlers have already finished. 1 is in the middle of building, and it looks like he is going to start his warp-ins with these 4 zealots down on the left hand side where the third base could possibly be. The mothership core is going to join in with the fray here, but there is all importantly 3 queens, so that could focus that mothership core down with immense pace. We are going to have all together quite a lot of zealots going to be moving up here, but he does have 3 spine crawlers and 3 queens. The third spine crawler is just about to finish. Time warp goes down. Is it going to be enough? He's just going to move out of there. He cannot engage into that. There's too many spine crawlers there, and he will just lose zealots as fast as they were warped in.
Oh, Quinn has to be careful, doesn't want to get chopped off by this zealot. Starbuck actually being really smart here. He said that he won't wait for the opponent to attack, but he can actually attack on his side. As you saw, he was at a pretty good angle with the Spanklers could attack as well, and the Queens also could attack the Mothership Core. Now with the Zealots being chased by these few roaches. Wow.
Yeah, he's just going to try and kite back with these zealots and make these or kite back with them roaches and make them zealots as if they were never even there. He hasn't taken a fair base surprisingly, so this is actually it's pretty all in this point in time. He used to do one evolution chamber coming down and another double 2 gas, double evolution chamber. Shows us that he does want a macro. He's not going to be doing any sort of really all in shenanigans, but I would say he needs to take a fair base quite soon. Behind this we do have immortals being built, so this looks like there's going to be an immortal bus right behind this, and this is actually quite popular right now. Another 3 gateway should be added on. This will just be a 7-8, probably 2 to 3 immortal with a war prism attack, which is actually quite strong, believe me. More sentries are going to be warped in there to try and kill this overseer so it doesn't get a scout. Don't think it's going to be able to DPS it fast enough. There's the extra 3 gateways that I was talking about over the left hand side, so that pylon is going to be useful. The second immortal is just coming in for him soon enough, and the third base is training him down for Starbuck.
Yeah, Starbuck is currently on 8 gateways, and actually one of the orders sees 1 gateway on the entire 3 gateways. As you said, didn't get scouted, but there's an overseer here. If that gets scouted, that could be quite harmful, but PrimeLoT is going for a secondary attack on 2 bases. 8 gateways with immortals. This could be huge.
Yeah, I would say this strat is definitely going to do some damage. With them 3 immortals, the DPS that they put out is an insane amount. Definitely with them 7 gateways that he has down, if he constantly chrono boosts them, as I'm sure he is Grandmaster, he will definitely do. He's going to be able to get units as fast as he possibly can now. Your trade spread is decent though, so if any immortal does tread on this, he's going to be able to get a good surround with some links. He's throwing down another 3 spine crawlers, but I'm sure 6 spine crawlers are not enough to stop 7 gateways and 3 immortals.
Yeah, he did make a text switch to Swarmos. He actually has 4 Swarmos, and he doesn't have enduring locust. So that means the locust unit will be quite weaker than they could have been. This attack actually looks quite terrifying. The army supply 47 for a 63, and PrimeLoT looks in a very good spot.
Yeah, there's no observer with this army, so he's definitely not going to be able to kill these swarm hosts. He's just going to trade for units. There is a lot of spine crawlers here, so these this immortal central line is not going to be able to bypass these easy enough to be able to kill these swarm hosts. If he even had an observer with him, the third base is still not been droned up. It is untouched, but he is going to engage here. Force fields are decent, holding them roaches back and them locusts back. I don't think he has enough here. He's constantly trying his best here. Zealots are trying their best to get through, but they're being held back by the sentries.
Wow.
But now the force fields are just cancelling them, and it's just obliteration. These swarm hosts were the perfect type thing that he needed. He's got no observer, but the observer finally comes in, and there's not enough here. But there is a lot of swarm hosts there's a lot of swarm hosts here, and the locusts are coming out as fast as they possibly can. And there's a nice spine crawler placement up on the left hand side there beside his ramp, and I think this attack was just going to be pushed away.
Yeah, good attack from good hold side from the Berserk player Starbuck, but actually PrimeLoT didn't lose his immortals, so now you can come in and push. Doesn't have a lot of force fields now, if at all. Actually warping some sentries somewhere. So yeah, this attack probably won't be over by now. PrimeLoT is getting creep, which is nice. But he has to do something, get his Swarmos. He has to get splash damage as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's definitely an important thing you need against Swarmhost. Now remember guys, this Protoss player is on 2base, the same as the Zerg player for until like 2 minutes ago, until I started saturating this, until he felt safe enough. The interesting thing about this is, the Protoss player is trading against 3 units, so the Zerg player is not trading anything, except for these couple of roaches that may or may not die here. 2 go down, so he's not really losing too much here, and these Swarmhosts will eventually take down this Immortal Sentry all-in army.
Yeah, Swarmos was a good with the right choice from the Zerg player Starbuck to go in, and he's trying to attack from any angles, but nothing that he can do and get his Swarmos, except get splash damage.
Yeah, really at this important point in time he needs to get some AoE damage down. We haven't seen any robotics baby placed down, so it doesn't show us that he wants to go into any sort of, well, let's say, classes play for the moment. Even Storm probably wouldn't be enough for this point in time. You need something that will really do a lot of damage. The Swarm hosts are spread out actually quite nicely, some up in the natural and some beside the ramp, so they're spread out a little bit. So some will reach the Protoss army faster than others, so that means there's going to be constant attacking. But that makes it a little bit easier for the Protoss to deal with as well. He's going to try and clear up some creep here, and I think he's going to, yes, he is going to take a fair base behind this. This is going to turn into a little macro game here. The robotics bay has finally been thrown down, and soon enough we will see some classes being brought out. And that's the Zerd player's turn to move and see what he can possibly do.
Yeah, but the Protoss player during this attack didn't kill anything, if at all, only a few units and maybe some roaches. The Zerg player is at 70 workers versus 37. The Zerg economy is actually pretty much at its not the best, but a good economy versus PrimeLoT. So he is in a major setback. And I don't know, maybe the Zerg player will have some unit switch, which we always love to see, Jerung style. But,
yeah, we did see the Zerd play. They're actually trying to go for the 4th base. Looks like Starbuck wants to be a little bit more greedy, as he wants to be as greedy as he possibly can. Definitely no classes have yet been started. I think this is actually quite bad from the Protoss player, Prime, because he needs to get as many classes out as possible, as much AoE as possible, to be able to deal with these locusts. But a 4th base has been down for our Zerd player. More creep is being cleaned up here. There's actually some lines are being built to try and go up and deny this 4th base. I don't know if it will, but it will do at least some damage. There's not enough energy for the photon overcharge to go off yet, so it's going to be quite interesting. Some zealots are going to be worked in, but I don't think they're going to be enough. There is a lot of links here. He's going to try and kill off as many links as he possibly can, but the army is coming back from him with a little bit of a engaging force down here at this 4th base, trying to deny it as much as possible. You cannot let this Zerg economy get out of hand, or he's going to regret it.
Yeah, he actually denied his 3rd base, but he actually lost one immortal, which at this point you don't want to lose any units, free units such as foremost locusts actually, and that was kind of bad. And now the 4th base or Zerg player will most likely be secured, while the Protoss player didn't take even a 3rd base. No, actually, didn't just started to take the 3rd base, which is actually already fully saturated.
So we're actually classes starting to be built now, and this is actually the rig key. He does have one already out in the map with thermal lance. Thermal lance is, I would say, about 80% of the way done, so it's nearly going to be there. So that means he will be able to force field and deal with these locusts easier than he was able to. And right now, it's just going to be a battle of waiting until these players get up their armies that they want to engage with. The Zerg player's economy is getting quite nice now, but this 4th base is going to successfully go up this time. It will not be denied again. And it looks like our Zerg player is in a better position right now, I'm going to say.
Yeah, PrimeLoT is actually trying to take his 4th base this early on. He has a splash damage, he's making 2 classes at a time. He is pretty much safe inside to get this foremost. But the question is the Mutalisk. Sparrow is being Mutalisk, slash Corruptors obviously. Most likely we will see Mutalisk from this Sparrow letting it again, but actually PrimeLoT is going for the attack. Oh my god, his foremost are pretty much so exposed.
Yeah, he's got them vapors out and he also has some roaches, and wow. Them classes died as faster than they were built. And this looks like it's going to be over, ladies and gentlemen. The swarm host count is actually getting out of hand with these vapors. I don't think he's going to fill these vapors up with complete energy, because obviously if they do your feedback, he doesn't want to be trading them for nothing, for a simple piece of energy. He's moving up a little bit closer. It looks like he will be in range to be able to kill this for a base off, and this is the point in time where the Zarg army is just going to get out of control.
Yeah. Large group of Stormers actually going into the PrimeLoT 3rd base. Yeah, he actually has to evacuate in this 3rd base. Go down. Oh, yeah. So nice sniper from Starbuck. And actually PrimeLoT is using his advantage of the fact that locusts are slow units, and he's trying to take as many bases that he can. Being greedy can sometimes pay off, while PrimeLoT is actually taking 3 Stargates back home, and maybe we'll see this Tempest tech switch.
Yeah. We do see some Voyagers, actually 3 Voyagers at a time being built now, so he is going to try and go for some army. On top of this, we do also see that missile attacks are going up to level 3, and we do see +3 Carabist. So the upgrades are really nice for our Zerg player. I don't think our Protoss player has any upgrades. No, he actually only has +1 attack, so that's actually quite bad. +3 Locust against +1 Protoss army. But Vapors are going to get another pull in here. Another Colossus going down. As long as 2 free High Templars. So really the Protoss army is really small at the moment. But there is one interesting fact. 3 Void Rays are being produced at a time. But there is no anti-air to be able to deal with this Zerg army.
Yeah, Starbuck doesn't actually have anti-air except some queens in the back. So this Void could be some threat, but no, PrimeLoT actually keeping him safe and secret. In the meantime, oh, another Colossus and 2 more High Templars. Zerg player Starbuck being super cost effective in this game. Look at the units last stab, 1300 to 33. Sorry, to 3k. That's huge.
Our Zerg player is actually playing this really smart. He's not allowing the Protoss player to even get more than 2 Colossus at a time. Every single time 2 Colossus has been built, they have been pulled in by sneaky updarts, and that's when the Zerg army has really just abused them and killed them faster than they've come out. But we do actually have a fair base that has just there being established for our Protoss player, and he really needs to get this up to get his economy going. He is running on low fuel at the moment. He does have some corruptors out, but the gas bank for the Zerg player is really high at the moment. So far we have 11 corruptors being made, so that definitely will deal with a couple of Void Rays, so that's not going to do too much. And now I don't know if there's anything our Protoss player can do. I think PrimeLoT is obviously going to have to GG out sometime here. I don't think there's any more he can do really in this game.
Ooh. PrimeLoT is actually sniping off. If he had a Zerb, he could have sniped off all of these Swarmers. But now the Corrupt is joining in. But no, PrimeLoT actually doesn't care, just going for the Swarmers. Nice trade for a first player.
I wouldn't say it's actually the best trade in the world, because you can't really be trading them as fast as they are. Really, one Corruptor is going to go down here, and GG is going to be called, and Starbuck is going to take game 1. Game 1 goes to MiA.